Welcome back to the Full Force Fathers podcast. David, it is episode number 69. We are rolling. It is the dog days of summer.
Yeah, still the dog days of summer, but my family's back finally from vacation, so that's a win for me. I can stop just trying to find stuff to do to pass the time. So you got a lot of phone calls from me this past week.
No, it's a win for me, actually, not you.
Shut up. You love talking on the phone, so
my fucking phone.
I call bullshit.
I don't think my phone's rang that much since I was like 16. Well, actually, I thought we didn't even have cell phones when we were 16. Dude, Andy's like, Dave's calling again. I'm like, dude, what do you want from me? He's got 10 days by himself. I can't tell you. It is what it is. It's the cost of friendship, okay? It's what it is.
When was the first call I made to you that I told you I was bored?
I think you're on your way home from the airport.
Oh man. It's true.
Dude. It is what it is, man. Dude, that's the worst. That is the absolute worst when you're without your kids and stuff. But glad they're back home. So, anyways, episode 69 today. This is a very quick hitting episode because we got a few topics we want to talk about. There's a couple things that I'm fired up about that Dave already he's been trying to settle me down a little bit pre-show. And then there was a planned topic for this episode that we're going to go over too. So that one Dave's going to take the lead on. But Dave, why don't you get us into episode 69 numbers, because you did put this list together.
I did, yeah. It's an interesting list. Fun nugget for you. The NBA has banned the number 69.
What?
Didn't realize that. Yep, banned the number 69. Guess who the last player, maybe the only player, to request the number was?
It's got to be someone stupid.
You got that right. I can't believe it took you this long. Dennis Rodman.
Oh, fuck. How stupid am I?
He requested to wear it when he joined the Mavs back in 99-2000. Mark Cuban had just become the owner, and the NBA denied it. Mark Cuban actually made the 69 jersey for him. So he has it, but he never was allowed to wear it. So that's banned in the NBA. As far as the NFL goes, probably the best player to wear it, Jared Allen.
Oh yeah, the dude from the Vikings.
Yeah, 5-time Pro Bowler, 4-time First Pro. Tied for the NFL record with 4 career safeties.
That's a good stat. Interesting
stat, right?
That's a good one.
Here's one out of my ESPN past. Mark Schlereth. Remember what his nickname was?
Mark Schlereth. Stink.
That's right. He does Fox now. He goes color commentating for Fox. You know how he got the nickname Stink?
I do not know.
He used to pee himself in the middle of the game. He didn't want to go to the locker room and pee, so he just figured he'd pee in his pants. So all the players nicknamed him Stink because he smelled so bad.
Those guys in the NBA, especially the linemen, they're fucking savages, dude. They are not normal humans. They are absolutely not normal humans.
No, there's no doubt about it. I was floored when I found out that was actually the reason. And all those years that I worked with him, saw him, I never had any idea. I never looked into why he was called Stink. Never asked him either until I looked it up now.
Well, Mike and Mike used to call him Stink. I remember all the time.
Yeah. And that makes sense with Golic because, he probably knew the war stories there in the trenches.
Yeah, no, it's funny. That's not the only sport where people do that. The elite triathletes, like the Ironman triathletes. Yeah. Dude, it's a clock. Dude, everything, it's a clock, right? It's all about how fast you finish. So those guys, when they have to pee, they pee right on the bike, dude. They just pee while they're biking. I'm like, how could someone
It's disgusting.
pee while they're biking?
Disgusting.
It is
all
fucking
chafed and stuff, like,
dude. Goodness. And then they have to get off the bike and then run. Like, that's fucking. They must smell so rancid. Hence the word
they're on
stink.
Their own at that point. Yeah, exactly. Hence the word stinks. So, only one guy came to mind in the MLB, Bronson Arroyo. Now, he wasn't 69 for the majority of his career. He played with it. He wore it for 3 seasons when he was in Cincinnati, but
the Reds.
Won a Gold Glove in one of those seasons. And so Bronson Arroyo made the list.
Remember his cornrows? He had his cornrows in.
Yeah. It was legit.
He did the cornrows with the braids. I remember.
Yep. Hey, he helped get the Red Sox the World Series. So Bronson Arroyo, he had to make the list. I don't know who this guy is in hockey, but he sounded like he was halfway decent.
I know who he is. It's Desjardins, baby.
I wasn't gonna say that. That's not how I was gonna pronounce his last name.
Really? That's how you pronounce it.
How to say it again?
Desjardins.
No.
Yeah.
I was gonna pronounce it Desjardins.
No, yeah, because that's how anybody would, right? Yeah, Desjardins. Oh yeah.
Andrew Desjardins.
Yeah.
He made the list. And I'll let you take soccer. I don't have any idea who this guy is.
He won a World Cup in '98 and Euro in 2000, so that must be a Frenchman, Lizarazu. Don't know. Lizarazu. Never heard of him.
Yeah.
Give his first name a shot.
Vicente? Vicente?
I have no idea who he is.
I don't know.
Fucking
hey,
France.
I went to my first Nashville SC match.
Yeah, wasn't it just so good?
I mean, hey, it was fun. It's always cool to go to a stadium, see stuff that's going on. It's always fun when kids kick the back of your chair and you can't get out because of traffic, that kind of stuff. But beyond all that, it was a lot of fun. Something I learned at the game, the star of their team, who I guess won the MVP last year. I don't remember his name, but he's supposed to be the MVP of the league again this year. He's a German. So I asked somebody, I was like, oh, does he play on the German national team? They're like, no, he's not good enough. And I was
no
like,
shit.
What? He's the MVP of the MLS and he's not good enough to play on his national team. What does that say about the MLS?
Everybody gets on me. All these fake American soccer fans get on my ass all the time because all I do is bring the hate on the MLS. Yeah. And I don't want to bring the hate on the MLS. I really don't. I would like to freaking become the commissioner of the MLS and make it a great league because they're stupid. It's run terribly. They're running in the ground. There's no ownership. There's no I can't think of the word right now. There's no what's the word? To be like, there's no reason to try is essentially what
there's no incentive.
There's no incentive. You can't get relegated. You get guaranteed fucking salaries. It's the stupidest league on the planet. And there's a reason why it sucks. And the reason why they keep expanding it and it makes it suck more. Wow, you got Messi. Congratulations. Nobody gives a shit besides the people that live in Miami. And wherever Messi goes to play, that's the only time. And I hear a lot about Nashville FC because Nashville's like a up-and-coming booming city, blah, blah, blah. And they're so good for it. Their best fucking player can't make his national team. Zimmerman got a red card the other night, I'm pretty sure, when you watched the match. Like, it's absolutely pathetic. It's piss-poor, pathetic football to watch. And this is going to piss a lot of people off, MLS fans. And I love the listeners, and I love debating this stuff. But I promise you this. You can take the best MLS team. I don't give a shit who it is. So, Sporting KC from a few years back when they won it. Toronto when they had that little guy scoring all the goals. You could take the best MLS team and they would get fucking relegated from the Premier League without a doubt. They'd be relegated. That's how bad take the MLS. I remember Tottenham came over here one summer and the MLS All-Stars played against Tottenham's like B squad. Like they don't even let their best players play against the MLS All-Stars. It's a joke of a league. And it doesn't have to be a joke. It makes, I get passionate and pissed off about this shit because we live in the best country in the world with the most money and we can't figure out soccer. It's really not that hard. It's 11v11. It's not that hard. But we fuck it up. Listen, blame the Democrats. That's what I'm blaming. It's the fucking Democrats' fault. There's no punishment. There's no relegation. It's a fucking joke. Next topic.
Hey. That's all I got. That's all I got for the top of the show. You want to take us through the Bible verse now?
Yeah, we're going to the Bible verse. Now, how contradictory of myself does my Bible verse come out of Luke? All right, chapter 6, verse 31. Do to others as you would have them do to you, okay? I want to read a little bit of Luke, though, because I love 6:31. It's the famous line from Luke, is do to others as you would have them do to you, which comes from the New International Version. There's a bunch of different ways if you King James, blah, 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 blah. But if you read it, chapter 6 starts verse 27 is love for enemies. That's the name of that part of the book, right? Is love for enemies. It talks about it. All right. But to you who are listening, I say, love your enemies. Do good to those who hate you. Bless those who curse you. Pray for those who mistreat you. If someone slaps you on one cheek, turn to them the other also. If someone takes your coat, do not withhold your shirt from them. Give to everyone who asks you, and if anyone takes what belongs to you, do not demand it back. Do to others as you would have them do to you. That's Luke 6:27-31. Is that not like so fucking true? Like, It is so true. Hate on me all you want. Good. I'm going to still give you the shirt off my back. All right. You want to slap me? At least make it even. Slap the other side. It's you know, I'm fired up today. Like I'm ripped up. You know, you had to go down MLS road, dude. You had to do it. You had to fucking do it to me today.
What a great Bible verse. It is a classic. You hear it a lot, but do people really? I think people just hear it. They don't really listen to it and apply it. And I think that's something we all need to kind of slow down and think about, right? Are you treating people the way that you would want to be treated, regardless of how they act towards you? Are you still treating them that way? And I think we could all grow in that area.
Yep. I mean, they just finished that paragraph because there's, verse 32. If you love those who love you, what credit is that to you? Even sinners love those who love them. And if you do good to those who are good to you, what credit is that to you? Even sinners do that. And if you lend to those from whom you expect repayment, what credit is that to you? There's you, Dave. Even sinners lend to sinners, expecting to be repaid in full. But love your enemies, do good to them, and lend to them without expecting to get anything back. Then your reward will be great, and you will be children of the Most High, because he is kind to the ungrateful and wicked. Be merciful, just as your Father is merciful. Dave Ramsey says it all the time. Give money to your family. Do not expect to be repaid back. Am I right?
Yeah, 100% right.
Because if you expect to be repaid back, how fucking awkward is Thanksgiving dinner? He says it all the time.
Yeah, it changes everything. You can't have those expectations. If you want to do it out of the goodness of your heart, great, do it out of the goodness of your heart. But don't ever expect something back. Yep. You see someone on the side of the street and you want to give them the coat off your back, don't expect that you're going to get it back.
Yep.
Give it as a gift.
Go read Luke 6:31, but start at 27 and read down. Just read the whole part on love for your enemies. All right. Mm-hmm. And like I said, I'm fired up. So I want to talk about two things really quick. Two articles that have come out in recent times. This one actually, I'm starting with article number 2 because it just came out. And this one just makes me so happy. It also makes me kind of sad, but it kind of makes me a little happy. Okay, an article came out just a few days ago, and I read it right before the show. And it says, because if you don't know, I play pickleball. I don't play it all the time, but there's a league in Marana, and there's a team that every once in a while they need a fill-in player. So I will go fill in. I filled in 3 matches this year. Undefeated, by the way. Side note, that doesn't mean anything. Never lost a pickleball in my life. I'm probably going to retire undefeated. Okay? So, but this article is about pickleball, and it came from Yahoo Finance, okay?
Yahoo Finance. Okay.
Yeah, Yahoo Finance wrote an article about pickleball, and it says, here's the headline. Almost too easy to play, pickleball's popularity comes at a cost. That's what the name of the article is.
I mean,
Dave,
talk about a hook.
How much money do you think it costs in 2023 in injury-related pickleball accidents?
Oh, this is an injury-related stuff?
Yes.
Oh, you didn't say that. I just thought maybe there were some serious betting lines going on in the underground pickleball world.
No.
And injuries, I don't know, $10,000.
This, in a recent research note, UBS analyst estimated $250 to $500 million in medical costs attributable to pickleball in 2023. Okay, so here's the fucking thing. One more. I'm going to read the headline on the next article, and then we're just going to talk about them all mixed together. New York Post, end of June, so a couple weeks ago now. 16.5 million Americans at risk of stroke from exercising too hard, study shows.
Ooh,
I just got to talk about this.
Too hard?
Yeah, working out too hard in pickleball. 500 million, baby, in pickleball. Wow.
Pickleball injuries and working out too hard. Risk of stroke.
Yeah.
I thought the risk of stroke was because people took so many vaccines and now their heart doesn't work right when they exercise.
Oh, now you're onto something over there, buddy, old pal.
But it must be the exercise.
It's obviously the exercise. You exercise too hard and your heart rate goes up, man. Like, that's obvious. Wow. We've been over-exercising for so long now that it's finally caught up to that 16.5 million they're at risk all of a sudden. Not in 2022, not in 2021 or 2020 or 2019, 18, 17, all the way back. No, 2023, all of a sudden, 16.5 million Americans are at risk from over-exercising. Okay?
That's a fascinating article.
Let me go back to pickleball for a second, because this one pisses me off. Dave, what do I hate more than anything in the whole world when it comes to money? What is the number one thing that I hate that I argue with all the time? What do I hate?
With money?
Yeah, like money.
Insurance, medical insurance.
Insurance. I hate it. Do I have life insurance? I do. The only reason why I have life insurance is because of you. But if not, I wouldn't even have that, because I hate insurance. I think it's the biggest fraud ever. Okay, now give me your pulpit speech. Well, you know, if you break a leg or someone gets hurt or a baby, blah, 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 blah. Okay, good. Guess what, though? They are trying to fucking manipulate old people to not play pickleball anymore. And the reason why is because insurance companies, for the first time in their whole entire existence, they're being forced to pay some fucking medical claims, okay? And guess what they did? Guess what they did to all those people now? They're shoving it right back up their ass because they're sending premiums back up, all right? So if you play pickleball, your premium's going up because we had to pay for your broken fucking toe that you got down at the park playing with Grandpa.
I'm surprised they don't put pickleball on the restriction list, kind of like they do when you apply for life insurance. If you go skydiving or rock climbing or any of that kind of stuff, they should put pickleball in there with an asterisk. If you play pickleball, you don't get medical insurance.
And it just wouldn't be a liberal article without them mentioning COVID, right? It says the sport could even be pickleball here. This is what we're talking about, pickleball. We're talking about practice. We're talking about pickleball, okay? Listen, it says that the sport could even be contributing to an uptick in outpatient surgeries among seniors, they said, in addition to factors like a procedure backlog built up in the pandemic and the removal of mask requirements.
Oh, wow. This article, this is a bona fide number one article right here. You know, what's interesting, I know you started playing it recently, and that's great. And there's actually a few people at work that play it that I've heard of. Before that, I never heard of anybody playing pickleball. I always just assumed it was seniors at like a nursing home that would go out, or like at one of those, retired communities that you'd go to, and you'd see people playing pickleball and shuffleboard and all that kind of stuff. I had no idea it was such a thing.
Yeah. And then it's just, if we get MRIs on everyone over 60, a lot of that, blah, 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 meniscus tears and this. Dude, when you're over 60, your fucking shit doesn't work anymore as it is. You think about, dude, that meniscus was already probably torn. But no, let's blame pickleball because, God forbid, the insurance companies got to pay a little bit of money out of their pocket that have been shoving in their pockets for the last 200 years.
Wow. Thanks for that.
It is unbelievable. It just makes me so angry that they want to take everything away. Everything that's fun and good and makes you feel good. Exercise. 16.5 million at risk from stroke from exercising too hard. Give me a fucking break.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
Give me a break.
Yep.
It's absolutely ridiculous that they keep coming up with this shit. It's so stupid. It's not even funny. Get out of here with the body positivity shit. I don't want to fucking hear it. If you're fat, you're fat. End of story. I saw something the other day. I was talking to Andy the other day. They were talking about the pressure in the medical conditions that come from pressure of trying to get your summer body And they were blaming the eeny teeny beeny meeny little polka dot bikini song from like 1998 or some shit. They were trying to blame that on women feeling bad. And they said the amount of medical problems that come from that, from the stress of trying to get in a summer body, they said.
Or you could just live the right way and be in your summer body all the time.
Yeah. Or you could just not be a fat ass. Or you can go to the gym. Or you could exercise. Or you can eat right. Because it costs a lot more to eat like shit and not exercise than it does to eat good and be healthy.
Yeah, but that's not a victim mentality, Brett. Everybody wants to have the victim mentality. Oh, it happened to me. Oh, I had to eat all that stuff. I had no other option. Had to do that. No, I couldn't work out. I had no time. Couldn't do that. It's too expensive. It's too this, it's too that. Everybody wants to be the victim all the time. That's the problem. And now that we're writing articles about it, we're giving people more excuses, more reasons. We just got to dangle things out in front of people, and people jump all over. You know how many people probably believe this pickleball nonsense? And you know how many people are like, oh yeah, that makes sense. People are over exercising. Yeah, that's definitely why people are dropping dead. It has nothing to do with the shit that you just put in your bodies. God knows how many fucking times with somebody else telling you to do it, and you just don't want to come to the realization that you were being poisoned.
Yeah.
But, it's easier to believe that, oh yeah, it's just we're over exercising. So we might as well not exercise. And then, next summer, although the stress is going to get to me because I'm going to have to try and get into my bathing suit body again.
Yeah, your summer body, but you've been sitting on the couch eating Big Macs one after a fucking other, blowing through your fucking money because it costs more to eat a Big Mac than it does to make a fucking salad and chicken breast that night. It's I mean, listen, hey, I'm guilty. Handcuff me over it. I've done 75 hard like 6 times. Listen, I'm one of them. I've done 75 hard. I did the Live Hard program. I'm the culprit behind it all.
Yep, absolutely. Throw us away.
It's absolute bullshit.
Conspiracy theorists over here.
And next week's article was supposed to be about fitness. Or next week's episode.
Next week's show.
Yeah, next week's show. But we've kind of tied it in. I'm still going to talk about fitness next week.
No, it's still going to be about fitness next week because people need to hear the message.
Just don't believe this shit, people. We've been saying it forever. Like, don't read the articles because, like you said, this 16.5 million at risk of stroke, dude, it's a fucking tactic because they want you fucking lazy and fat and eating fast food and sitting on your couch, and they want you scared to go outside because the almighty sun's going to melt you.
Yep. You want dependent. They want you to be dependent on them. Yeah. God forbid you go outside and you don't put on all this sunscreen that has come from every chemical factory in the world.
I don't want to go down that rabbit hole because I've already gotten in fights with people that are close to me over the whole sunscreen skin cancer thing. I don't want to talk about that.
Yep. We'll save that for another day.
Yeah, save that for another day.
I can see. I'll bring it up at some point.
Just do yourself some research if you're listening. Go find out when skin cancer became mainstream and find out when sunscreen became mainstream. Do me a favor. There's your homework for the night.
There you go.
Spoiler alert.
Do you want to talk about the topic
not giving you
Do you want to talk about the topic that we actually had for the show today?
Yeah, listen. I'm sorry. Dave caught me in the right mood today. But Dave did have a topic that he wanted to talk about, so I'm going to shut my mouth now. And I'm going to chime in when he wants me to, and I'm going to let Dave talk about some back-to-school budgeting, baby.
I mean, I know it's top of mind for everybody, right? We're a month out of school here in Nashville. We're a month out of school there in Arizona. So it's time to start thinking about the budget for back-to-school because, needless to say, what happens most of the time is people, the last week of school, get frazzled and, it's back to school. We got to buy the clothes. We got to buy the school supplies. We got to buy the supplies for the schools because apparently the schools can't pay for their own supplies and the tax dollars that we pay all the time, which I don't understand where all the money goes that we pay, but apparently it doesn't go to school supplies for the kids. Ukraine.
You think they got some pencils for us?
Maybe. They could probably send them over, blast them off in one of the missiles we let them have. They can send them back over here and drop them out. Man, what a disaster. That's another rabbit hole for another day. But anyway, so we're a month out. It's time to start planning for back to school. Have you guys started planning for back to school?
Yes, we have.
Yeah?
We have. And the reason why we got way ahead of it this year because the girls were attempting, no guarantees, we're going to attempt to put them in school, like actual school. and see how it goes. So as everyone knows that listens to the show, Andine is a big time planner. She gets way ahead of shit, so she's already got Christmas presents for the fucking Christmas already. I'm convinced of it. But yeah,
that's good.
So we do have some stuff. The only thing that's really hard for us right now, not so much the school supplies, the school clothes, believe it or not, is becoming an issue for us. And the reason why is because Madison doesn't stop fucking growing. Yeah. Literally, like if I get her a pair of shorts or pants on, they're not going to fit her in 6 weeks. They're just not going to because she just won't stop growing.
Yeah. And that's a very real thing. So it's like, well, what do? You just don't buy it all at one time. You got to start spacing it out, get a few things this month, a few things in a couple months, and just kind of space it out. So she's always got stuff that feels new and new wardrobe, but that she actually fits in. So her legs aren't like where she's going to a flood.
Yeah.
But all sorts of things you can do here, right? One of the things that they did at our school district here is they offer a supply box, prepared supply box. So instead of having to go out and buy everything on your own off the massive list that they're like, hey, bring the Kleenex and the wipes and the this and the that, all the stuff, you can just buy a supply box. Ends up being actually a little bit cheaper because they're buying the stuff in bulk. So you won't have to spend as much money, and you don't have to go and spend your time doing it, trying to hunt the stuff down. So that's one thing to look at with your school. Another big thing, I don't know if they have it here. No tax days. That was a thing back in Connecticut, the no tax days, when you can go and you can actually just buy anything without tax. What a concept. Wouldn't that be nice if we could just do that all the time if we weren't being overtaxed by everybody? You got your federal tax, your state tax, your town tax, your county tax, your store tax, your this tax, that tax, a lot of taxes. So if you get a no tax day, go take advantage of it and buy your stuff then. How about this? I know this is a good one for you and Andine. You guys love this place, the dollar store.
Oh, it's a great store.
To buy all sorts of stuff, right?
It's a great store.
Yeah, why go buy expensive school supplies that are just going to get thrown around, lost, and probably used by other people most of the time, when you just go to the dollar store and get a box of something for $1? It might be $1.50 now at the dollar store, but nonetheless, it's still cheaper than if you were to go to a big box store and get your stuff there. Any thoughts on the dollar store?
We love the dollar store. Andine goes there all the time for stuff. I mean, because there is a lot of things that is just 100% better and easier. School supplies being one of them. Notebook paper, folders, pencils, pens, scissors, snacks. Like they actually have a decent selection of snacks, not just garbage snacks. They sell corn nuts and trail mix and and things like that. Obviously they're smaller portions, but they're still cheaper. We love the dollar store, but I want to back up to something that you said when you mentioned you get the list from the school and they're like, all right, here's your list. 1 this, 18 this, 25 this. And you're thinking to myself, why am I supplying the school with all their supplies? When did that go into effect? Because we grew up in Connecticut. We never bought shit for the entire classroom. That didn't start until I got to Arizona. When they gave us that initial list from Madison, why do I need to bring in 18 boxes of wipes?
I'm fairly certain that they don't do that in Connecticut. Yeah, Casey's got some friends that are teachers there, and I'm pretty sure they don't do that. Like I remember last year, we had shared the list with some of Casey's friends back there, and they're like, "What? Like you guys got about this?" It was like very surprised. So I think it's just, listen, Arizona's right at the bottom of schools, awful in the country, awful, and it's a funding thing, right? So they must not have any money to buy any of the supplies, but. Where we are, supposedly one of the best counties in the country for schools, and we're still buying supplies too. Yeah. So what the fuck? Doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make any sense.
Whatever. Goes back to our Bible verse at the start. Do unto others that you have done to you. You know what? I'm just going to make my donation. This is great. If it helps the school, if it helps some kids that need it, that maybe can't do it, can't get it, I'm good with that. It's okay. Yeah, I can afford it right now. I can do it.
And I also think too, because Arizona teacher salaries are not Connecticut teacher salaries, so True. Like that's an extra strain on them if they got to go and buy some shit. And I get that, but like, let's be real, there should never, ever, 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 ever be an issue with school funding, so fucking supplies aren't on the kids' desks for students.
Yeah, absolutely. Here's the thing. Here's the one that I don't know why this one bothers me so much, but it does. Having to buy Kleenex. What?
Yeah.
When did schools stop being able to have enough paper products in the school to take care of the kids when they're there?
Yeah, no, I'm with
like,
you.
Okay, you need pencils, you need glue, whatever. Like, fine. But wipes and tissues for real? I mean, pretty soon you're gonna have to stop and pick up a 32 pack of Cottonelle on your way to school, so your kid can wipe their own ass.
Oh, mate, you might have to bring the kid's desk for the end day one. You never know.
It's possible. We're getting there.
Yeah, I don't get that either. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. We always had a storage cabinet, and listen, once again, everyone just thinks that we're some crazy far right people. No, we're just conservative by nature, but that doesn't mean I don't have moderate views and kids need supplies. Like, there should be funding. But another thing that I will complain about, if you want me to get nitpicky on the schools out here, maybe you wouldn't have to have so many fucking parents buying supplies for other parents and other teachers if you didn't let every kid open enroll in the school. There's no reason why one teacher should have 36 fucking kids. No.
Oh, it's
if you're not in the district, you're not in the school. End of story. Problem solved. But no, they don't. They need money, grants, funding.
Yep.
Let the kids in and then overwhelm the already underpaid teacher. Teachers are so underpaid. It's literally stupid. Yeah. If I had to sit in a room with 35-year-olds every day, you better be paying me $150,000 a year. I'm not doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. They overwhelm the teachers, but also the kids aren't getting the education that they need.
Nope.
Because you know that the smart kids are always going to get the attention that they get because they're advanced and they're moving forward. Yep. The kids that aren't as advanced, that are kind of falling behind, they're going to get extra attention there. How about all those kids that are just in the middle, that do a good job? Mm-hmm. They get their work done. They get zero attention or focus in the classroom whatsoever when you have 30, 35 kids in a class. It's absolutely ludicrous that we would even be okay with something like that for our kids in school. Yeah. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. We'd be like, 35 kids in a school. I didn't have 35 kids in some of my college classes. Are you serious?
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Elementary school?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Yeah, that makes sense because kids can get a good education that way. By the teachers that are so fucking stressed that they don't even want to teach anymore. All the good teachers are leaving the profession. Mm-hmm. It's ridiculous.
Or they're trying to get on with private schools where the classroom sizes are half.
Yep. You know. But then you can go to a charter school, but they don't pay anything. Private schools and the charter schools typically pay significantly less. It's from an already depleted pool. It's not like they get paid a lot at a public school. You go to a charter or public and a private, it's usually less.
Yeah,
stupid.
No, it's ridiculous. And this.
Then you watch these idiots. You watch these. I'm sorry, I'm on a fucking rant right now. Then you watch these idiots on YouTube that do all this dumb shit, and they get millions of dollars because they have fucking people watching their videos. Good for you, dickhead. You got somebody watching your videos. You got these fucking teachers, police officers, firefighters, nurses, all these people that go out every single day to keep our cities safe, keep our kids safe, teach the next generation, and they don't make diddly fucking squat.
Yeah.
But you got all these idiots that can just do this dumb shit on the internet and people fucking watch it. And people watching, these eyeballs are on it, and then these companies are like, I'm just going to give you all this money because people are watching your shit. It's so fucking stupid. Yeah. We're so backwards.
Yeah.
Everything is backwards in this country right now. It doesn't make any sense. And that's the reason I shut this shit off on my phone. I got rid of all of it because I'm fucking tired of it. I'm not supporting that shit anymore. I don't want to give anybody any fucking views on YouTube anymore because it's stupid.
Yeah, no, they And if that falls on us, guys, that's why this is the Full Force Fathers podcast. If we enable our kids to sit on YouTube all day long, they will do it. These companies know what they're doing to market to kids. Don't let your kids first of all, if you're in, don't give them a cell phone. Like, someone just asked me the other day, Madison's going to be 13 in a couple weeks. Does Madison have a cell phone? No. Why not? Because she's fucking 12. That's why.
Yeah.
And guess what? End of story. Because she's 12. Period. That's it.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Well, our kids were. So we have YouTube on the TV. It's just like that's an app on the TV, you know. Yeah. And I saw they were watching it way too much. I could tell they were kind of hooked on it, and their attitude was changing a little bit. Guess what I did? Fucking banned it. You ask them. Dad banned YouTube in the house. Can't watch it anymore. Done.
Yeah. Listen, don't hurt their feelings. Don't hurt their feelings.
Nope. Yeah, don't want to hurt their feelings. I want them to be my best friend forever.
Oh man, what an
Guess
episode!
what? They're still my best friend.
Yeah,
they're still my fucking best friends just because I banned YouTube. What's that?
I said, what an episode! I started off by getting all fired up, and you just can keep it rolling.
Yeah, we were all fired up today. I don't know what the hell happened. Maybe it's I'm back in my natural habitat here. I don't know.
No, that's not your natural habitat. You're definitely a transplant. You're not a natural Tennessean.
No, definitely not.
You're not.
I'm still trying to fed. Dude, I went to this place. Well, I didn't tell you this on the last episode, but I went to this place in Tennessee, backcountry Tennessee, for some barbecue while Casey and the kids were gone. I mean, I was on another planet. Yeah. Like, it was like real.
I can imagine.
It was crazy. It was this building out in the woods somewhere off of this random highway. And I mean, but their barbecue was unreal. I mean, absolutely unreal, phenomenal. But it was like living on another planet. It was crazy. And I definitely realized I'm not from Tennessee. It was like kind of just like, it was so busy because it was lunchtime and like you could sit anywhere, but they had big picnic tables outside. And I always love to sit outside. So I sat at a picnic table and these people came over, they're from Tennessee, and they're like, hey, can we sit down with you? Sure. And I was talking like, where are you from? I was like, I'm from here. They're like, no, you're not.
They asked you about your Birkenstocks?
I wasn't wearing my Birkenstocks. I was wearing sneakers that day, but I did have the BMW, so I didn't fit in with all the pickup trucks.
Yeah, no, that's funny. That's too funny. Yeah, you're cut from a different cloth if you live in the Tennessee woods. That's for sure.
Oh yeah.
But anyways, well, let's wrap up the show today. This has been a good one. Lots of ranting and raving, and hey, I hope it's entertaining. I hope you like it. Share it. But let's book review time.
Prepared. A manual for surviving worst case scenarios by the great Mike Glover, Army Special Forces, Green Beret, founder of Fieldcraft Survival. What a book. We are in chaotic times in this world. Some people think I'm a prepper. Some people think I just think I'm prepared. And that's what this book is about. It's about being fucking prepared because everybody's says it's never going to happen to me. It's never going to happen to me. It's never going to happen to me. Well, guess what? When it happens to you, will you be prepared? And this doesn't mean a war or a shooting. It could be a natural disaster. It could be electricity goes out for 3-4 days. This is a manual to know. What if your house catches on fire? What if there's an intruder? What if you break your leg in the woods and you're on a trail run? It is about being prepared for everyday life and what life can throw at you. It is a phenomenal book. Go read it. I just was talking to my dad the other day on the phone, and it came out in the beginning of June. The girls had gotten it to me for Father's Day. I hadn't gotten around to it because I still had 2 other books in the hopper before it. Phenomenal. Go get it. Read it. It gives, if anything, it's going to make you think. It's going to make you think about your situation. Am I actually prepared? Do I have any supplies in my house for medical? Do I have any water if all of a sudden the water stopped working? Do I have any kind of backup power? Do I even have a fucking flashlight? Because guess what? 99% of people are so complacent these days. They have no idea what they would do in the event of anything outside of their normal life. But I have a flashlight on my phone.
Yeah. What happens when your phone dies?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
But my refrigerator gives me water.
Yeah. Until there's no power.
Oh. Shit.
Yeah.
But I got heat in the house.
Yeah.
I got a fireplace, a gas fireplace. Huh? What do you got there?
Yeah. What happens when you run out of gas?
Damn.
Yeah, no,
they just shut the gas off. That makes sense.
It's a good book, man. Just got to be.
I just clicked order on Amazon. You told me about that the other day.
And I'm not saying everyone's got to have 30 gallons of backup water and 2 generators and a freaking cardboard box full of batteries and canned food that'll last 20 years. I'm not saying you need that, but you have to be somewhat prepared in general because we live in a really wacky world right now. And if something was to fucking happen, so many people are going to be fucked. Period. And
my dad and I used to laugh at my mom back in the day because she was always the prepared one. She had a flashlight next to her bed. She had a kit down in the basement with all the stuff you could possibly need. So we used to always laugh at her, but she was right on to something. She was just a couple decades early with it, but we buried her with her flashlight because it was something that she always had. Wherever we went, Mom had the flashlight just in case the power went out. She got me this little insulated blanket that came in a box about that size. It was like aluminum foil. She goes, keep this in your car in case I still have it in my car.
That's good. You never know. Listen, you break down on the side of the road and it's freezing cold and you get run out of gas and you need to freaking not freeze to death. You'll thank your mom for that.
Hell yeah. No doubt about it.
Yeah, it's awesome. So anyways, check out this book, Prepared. Go to his website. I think it's fieldcraftsurvival.com. He's got all sorts of good links and articles and products. I mean, I'm not saying you got to go buy his products, but he does have some cool shit. So that's today's episode, Dave. I mean, this was awesome. I had so much fun recording today. I hope you got as much fun. I'm sorry if you heard me swear a lot more. I did definitely cuss a lot more than I usually do. Even though I am a cusser by trade. If you know me, I do cuss. But it was a good show. This was fun. So bring us home, Dave.
Yeah, everybody get out there, continue to live the full force life. Go get the book. Sounds like a great one. Start thinking about back to school. It might be in a month. It might be in 2 months, but it's coming. Back to school is coming. It's not stopping. So get yourself prepared for that. Make sure you check your insurance waiver forms. Make sure pickleball's not on there before you get out there and start hitting the pickleball courts this upcoming weekend. And we'll see you next week.
Yeah, don't exercise too hard.
Oh yeah, don't do that. We wouldn't want you to have a stroke. See ya.